Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawud Da from GMS St. Petersburg, Florida, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. In citation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. All right, we got another article. I think this is the second or the third article this week with the KKK in there. All right, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? As we get further and further to the end of these things, you know, you're starting to see more and more of these altercations between basically the so-called white man and the so-called black man. I would say race wars, but I mean, we've been having that going on, you know, basically all over the place. You know, Edomites against Edomites, you know, and Esau against these other nations and things like that as well. But what you starting to see, you know, this if this isn't more of a clear picture of what's really going on in hand, you know, they're bringing back things with the KKK, you know, and we know that the biggest enemy of the KKK is what? So-called Negroes. You know, they always talk about they hate gays, blacks, Jews, and something else, right? But what? How many times have you ever seen any so-called Klan, or how many times have you ever seen the KKK lynch a so-called Jewish person? All right, you ain't never seen that happen before. All right, you ain't never seen Klansmen has some. Really, we know all Jewish people are so-called white people anyway. But you ain't never seen none of them being lynched or the Klan sitting up outside of their damn house. All right. So we're gonna jump into this here. I got actually two different articles I want to pull out, which is basically hitting on the same note. You know, and this is what they over here teaching these children. All right, it says parents are outraged after children hit the stage in KKK costumes in Arizona. Parents are furious at an Arizona high school after their kids dressed up in hooded Ku Klux Klan robes for a school play. But the school insists that it is meant no harm, that the play isn't actually racist. All right, and the fact now we could go all the way around with this. If we was dressing up as Adolf Hitler, throwing some Jews under them oven and shit, there'd be a major problem with that, right? It says a high school plays at the Arizona State University Preparatory Academy in Phoenix last Friday shocked parents who saw their children appear on stage in full KKK regalia. Not only that, the psychological effects that this is having on these kids, you know, young Jake kids, you know what I'm saying, seeing this stuff and like, yo, y'all allowing this shit to happen like this, you know? Same thing, like I said, they wouldn't allow, you know, in Israel or some shit like that, you know, some people dressed up in so-called Hitler SS outfits and things like that, reenacting that for educational purposes. Nah. It says a high school play at the Arizona State, I read that. 3 students dressed as the KKK walked down the middle of their assembly as part of the play. One parent told ABC 15 Arizona that they were in hooded robes. However, the parents had read the play. American playwright Larry Sue, The Foreigner, they would have known what to expect. The Foreigner is a dark comedy, a staple of amateur theater. In one of its climactic scenes, the heroes have to defend themselves against the Klan mob. The Klansmen are portrayed as buffoons, albeit dangerous and cunning ones. Eventually, they were made fun of and driven away. Nevertheless, the parents were still taken aback at the sight of their children in KKK robes. We can talk about racial prejudice. We can talk about the insensitivity, but to have our children put on the robes and assume the characters is just wrong, one parent said. There's no justification for it. And yeah, I mean, I can see on a lot of different ways how that's just fucked up. Put somebody's child into a position, just psychologically putting people. I can just imagine what it's doing to people's brain, these little kids' brains. You know, you have some kids that's being dressed up in that, oh yeah, it's giving them so-called power. Well, I get to do this at school and it's okay. You know, as a child seeing the okay from an adult, as you putting this their costume on and cheering them on, they're gonna think this okay. It's further in them being a damn wicked and, you know, them having a so-called racist thoughts. In the same way, vice versa for Jake kids, seeing that and is bringing up memories. Oh damn, yeah, I was a slave. You know, sometimes little kids, they might not be quite ready for that shit. You know, you gotta, like, you know what I'm saying, bring them up a little bit, give them some, like in the scriptures, you gotta give them the milk before you give them the meat. You don't want them to choke and, you know, go all off, you know. Giving them certain images and stuff like that when they ain't ready is just, it's not really good. Not to mention the fact that you still, how do I say, how they would say, oh, you stirring up old can of worms. You know, you festering up some old shit. Like, bro, why you bringing up some old shit like that? Not saying that, oh, we need to forget our past or anything like that, but And this whole scenario with y'all bringing up the KKK in this light, why not bring up the KKK and expose them for who they really were? If you want to educate about the KKK, why don't you inform the kids that this was an American terrorist group that was formed in America by Americans to handle out attacks on American soil on other Americans. All right. And most of these terrorists, how do you say? Well, the terrorists, the people that are in the terrorist group. All right. A lot of them weren't caught. They weren't arrested. No laws was pushed against them. They wound up just, hiding into the woodworks. Now they all your judges, your police officers, and so on and so forth. These are the same damn terrorists that's running the majority of America right now. And for you to sit here and say that, America's not racist, America's not controlled by so-called racist people, that's a bold-faced lie. When your own selves tell you that the majority all of the KKK people wound up just working for the police, judges, and in other places in the government. So if you was racist when you was just in the Klan meeting before you got your job, your ass is still racist now that you got the power. All right. It says, the school is struck by its decision to put on the play, which was chosen by the students themselves. We apologize if anyone was caught by surprise with the appearance of these characters. Now, let me just mention, what students are these? These damn racist ass white students who got it in them, who just want to basically make mockery, like, yeah, we got to put on the Klan's outfits and act like we was hanging some niggas in front of some niggas and shit like that and got away with it. But again, if we was to put on, let's say it was refraining, you did The Birth of a Nation, where Nat Turner was gonna have this rebellion against these damn white people, or killing white people like that for some instance, or let me see, the DC Sniper, or cause that was a so-called black man, I believe, that was killing up a whole bunch of white folks, or the slave revolt. I forgot what the guy's name was. In Haiti, there was a slave revolt way back in the day where they basically killed up all the white people, or the Holocaust. If you was reenacting any of these shits that was showing white people in the so-called bad light, it would be hell and fury. They're like, oh, this is hate speech, this and that, In fact, they got rid of, what's that white chick name? It's like Rosie O'Donnell or one of them chicks, right? Who had like a bad tasting joke with like some toast of Hitler on the toast and a little outfit like that. Oh, that's all bad. But wait a minute, it's the same thing as this. They showing them as a buffoon, and buffoonery as if she's stupid, but yet and still they was all up in arms over that. But yet you can go out here and be doing all these types of things and let me read this. It says, we apologize if anyone was caught off surprise with the appearance of these characters. We are confident that a fair reading of the text of the play and fair interpretation of the intentions of the students who performed it reveals no endorsement of bigotry. You ain't endorsing bigotry, but yeah, it's talking about a fair interpretation of it. Well, what if there was a fair interpretation of, well, wait a minute, it is the so-called Jewish people that is fucking up all the financial systems, and it is fucking up Germany and the economy, and y'all are invading them. So if these people want to protect themselves from y'all people, I don't see why they wouldn't have a final solution for your ass. Oh, well, that's just anti-Semitic. These people that went through all this. Well, wait a minute. Y'all went through that through what? From what? 1943, I believe. 1943 to like 1948 or 49 or some shit. Not that long. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have been going through this since basically we got over here on this side of the globe in like the 1600s, before the 1600s, the 1400s. The Native Americans was catching it in the 1400s. All right. And the Southern Kingdom started catching it in the 1600s. All right. So what you mean? It says the angry parents wasn't entirely convinced, at least inform the parents, give us a ability to make decisions. They said the KKK walked into my kid's school Friday and I didn't get to stop it. While displays of racial prejudice and bigotry are frowned upon in modern America, genuine criticism of racism can get caught in the crossfire. Yeah, that's all I wanted to read in this here article. But as you see, as they portraying this, now this was the other story that I pulled out the other day about them recruiting in the KKK. So they can legally recruit, all right, and propagandize the kids and making them think that it's okay. So when they get older, they go ahead and go into this like, oh no, it's not a bad thing. This is just what we did. This is a part of American history, breeding more and more terrorists. This is terrorist propaganda right here, man. And all of America know, all of history know that this is a major terrorist organization, all right, that's been allowed to just roam the damn planet Earth and commit terroristic acts for not only decades, centuries. All right. Let me find this other story real fast. And what's crazy is these stories is like 2 stories apart. All right, here. Damn, they done removed it. It was right here. Oh, here it is. So I think I need to click con. This one here says 9-year-old girl driven to suicide over relentless racially charged bullying. And you know, this is one of the reasons why scriptures say, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. You know, you keep following their ass, you're going to wind up dying with them. But also, you know, in a small sense, let these motherfuckers go, man, because ain't nothing prepared for them but death. And you gonna wind up catching the death with their ass if you keep sucking down their Babylon juice and following their damn ways. Not only that, you know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, flee out of the midst of her, my people. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Come out of her, my people, you know? Come out of their damn ways. Stop trying to be joined hand in hand with them. You different from them. You the Israelites. You gonna be on top of these people. You was built to be higher up than these people. These people are built to serve you. You're not supposed to be buddy-buddy with these people like that. Right now, let's not be simple here. All right. Now, there are, first of all, you got confusion of faces. We're not talking about that. But there are certain scenarios and situations where just living in this world, you got to deal with fucking Edomites and you ain't got to be all rah-rah with them. All right. Like if you got to work with them, you know, sometimes, and you ain't got to be biting their, oh, you a goddamn Edomite, this and that, whatever, whatnot, you know, not saying that you can't have a regular civil conversation with these damn Edomites at work because you just got to, whatever, whatnot, you know. Scripture say, if possible, be at peace with all men, you know. You might be out at the gas station, whatever, whatnot. Some goddamn Edomite want to make some little bullshit conversation with you. Oh, you know, news might be paying. Oh, whatever's going on here, you know. Yeah, I know this is getting crazy. Or, yeah, it's cold outside. Yeah, buddy, it is cold outside. Well, have a good day, you know. Even like preaching on the highways and the byways, you know, you might have some Edomites walk by, like, have a blessed day. Not hearing what the hell you talking about, whatever, whatnot, you know. Hey, man. You too. Keep it moving. Whatever. Keep them going because, you know, hey, because you don't have to bring out the, hey, you going into slavery, blah, blah, blah. They didn't come up for all of that, you know. They'll find out one way or another, you know. They just walking by, you know, if possible, be at peace with all men. You teaching on something else and they walk by and they just say, you know, have a blessed day. Or I appreciate what you people are doing or whatever, whatnot, you know. If it ain't going towards the scripture, leave the shit alone, you know. But nevertheless, we need to separate ourselves from these people as far as mentally and spiritually and just, how do I say, trying to coexist with these people, go hand in hand with these people, trying to fit in with them. Like they say, keeping up with the Joneses. We need to stop trying to keep up with the Edomites, all right, or the Idumeans, all right. You know, and it's kind of sad because our people really don't commit suicide. You know, that's going into one people shall be stronger than the other people. But what? When you start serving these other nations and their gods, you become like they ass, all right. It says a 9-year-old Alabama girl killed herself after bullies racially abused her for being friends with a white boy. The family of the child says, all right. And so now this is the saddest, most fucked up part about it all is because this is a little girl who, she don't understand what the hell going on. She don't understand the Edomites. She don't understand none of this shit. You know, it would have been a lot better if her parents was wise enough and smart enough to know about this and to tell her about it. They would have had their daughter their day and she wouldn't be feeling bad for trying to hang out with these damn Edomites who didn't want to hang out with her. All right. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? This little girl and just her, how do I say, her uncorrupted mind, not knowing, you know, none of these things is going on. But why can't I be friends with the little boy? He's just a little boy. But everybody else is seeing what we don't see. This is one of the things that blind our people, man. We don't look at things on nations based on nations. We look at things as we all God's children. We all God's people. Everybody the same. Well, hell no. Why you at the bottom and they at the top? You know, why the Chinese got their own language and their own customs, this and that, and these folks do too, and them folks do too. Where's your shit at? Oh, we all the same. Nah, you ain't the same as the Chinese people. Chinese people say this our Chinese food, our Chinese customs. They ain't got shit to do with the so-called black man. Where your shit at? But you want to claim all your shit is part of everybody else's shit, like you need to be around with them. Now the scriptures say, look, though hand join in hand with the wicked, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished and come out of her, my people. So separate yourself from up off these damn heathen, man, before all kind of destruction fall upon you. All right, it says a 9-year-old Alabama girl killed herself after bullies racially abused her for being friends with a white boy, the family of the child says. Mackenzie Adam died by suicide at her grandmother's home in Linden, Alabama on December 3rd. It says, that's another story. White swastika spray painted on Black Panther mural sparks hate crime. See, they just showing you who these devils show you every damn day who they are and what their intentions are to you people, but to our people. But our people want to be blinded. Oh no, we all the same. Not all white people. Nah, man. Look, yeah, you right. Not all white people are the same. All right, not all white people are like that. Some white people, all right, they'll so called, like the scriptures say, those words were smoother than butter. War was in his heart. War was in his heart. You know, some white people like that. They'll be all your buddy, friend. Oh, how's it going, Bob? How's it going, Demetrius? You know, and oh man, well, I just want to make sure. You know, I want to help you and your family. I'll sell you this here minivan for a low. You know, and you get the damn van. The van got way more problems than what the fuck you needed with, and he gave you a lemon or some shit, or gave you some shit with some drugs in it. Now you pulled over and hemmed up. That's one way the damn devil is, you know, talking smooth with his damn tongue, but war's really in his heart. And then the other half, you know, like I said, hey, not all Edomites are the same. You right. Not all white people are like that. You got other types of Edomites. Which type of Edomites that I like? The ones like Donald Trump that'd be like, look, I hate you fucking niggas. You fucking smell bad. You look bad. I fucking hate you niggas and I can't wait to kill all you niggas. You see, I like those type of white peoples because you already know you ain't got to worry about no goddamn snake trying to bite your ass. This motherfucker is a lion roaring in your face. You know that this motherfucker mean danger, right? So, you know, for you so-called white people who think that not all white people are the same, that's what you seeing. You seeing the difference between the damn Donald Trump, right, who blatantly telling you that he racist versus, you know, somebody who like, oh no, we, you know, let me think of one of these goddamn organizations where they trying to go out there and help you, but they really killing people. Any of them, anything the white man do, man. Public education. We trying to help your kids and give you vaccines and shit, but then the kids come out all worse off and fucked up than what they went in, you know? That's how the so-called white man is, man. You can't trust this damn devil. But nevertheless, continuing on, it says, the fourth grader had been bullied by her classmates at U.S. Jones Elementary School in Demopolis after she transferred there from Linden Elementary because she had been tormented by bullies there too. All right, and really that's probably a wake-up call to this little girl. She probably was overly Edomitish. Parents probably raised up this, and that's going out, you know, not to blame the child for none of this stuff, but going out to you parents, man. That's the problem with trying to raise your goddamn kids as Edomites and making them think that they can be Edomites, man. They got to grow up into this real reality that's some bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how people tell our kids, oh, you can be whatever you want to be, this and that, or you all equal, all that. Nah, man. Hey, man, you got a little black boy, just like my grandma told me, so-called black kids, black males, sons or whatever. Hey, man, when you get pulled over, it's different from when they get pulled over, man. You can't get caught riding in no nice car. You know what I'm saying? Well, back when my grandma lived, you know, in the country where the Klansmen is still at actively. They ain't hiding it. They know, everybody know, the police know they're a part of this shit. You know, you can't call the police right now because he had a Klansman meeting and ain't nobody tripping about that type of shit. Where you got to tell the young black kids over there they can't be driving nice cars because they gonna pull you out the shit and plant something on you and take your shit from you. You know, that's just how it is. But what we like a lot of our people tell them, no. You know, not everybody racist. Why you teaching this hate and this and that? Now we ain't all this. Why y'all want to bring this hate back? Y'all don't. It be Jake that be protecting the so-called white man when it come down to racist shit. Whenever the so-called black man caught the so-called white man on being racist, the so-called white man sit back, be quiet, turn a little red. And just shut the fuck up because he know you telling the truth about him. But what? It be the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, our own people who want to defend him. Like if you go back, years on back, it's actually probably on the GMS Tampa Bay channel. Well, actually that channel got deleted and it's another one now. But nevertheless, if you've been watching us for a while now, you know, when we were under the GMS Tampa camp, man, we was preaching about the same shit, man. Talking about how the white man going into slavery. And here, down the block, throw hand joint in hand. You got Jake walking with Esau. Esau got his head down because he know he going into captivity. He know what he done did. He can feel it in his goddamn bones. But what? You got Jake want to pull out a fucking knife trying to kill us for fucking telling him that he walking with the enemy and he trying to kill you. But what? You want to pull out a knife on us and try to kill us over the shit. But what? This is what's happening to your children because you want to raise them up in that same ideology that these people is your friends and you need to come against your own people who's showing you the truth, man. It says, let me read down to some of this. It says, she told me that this one particular child was writing her nasty notes in class. No, not that. It says part of it could have been because she rode to school with a white family, Adam said. And that's, you know, let me further know that these Jake people, okay, these Jake damn people over here, is trying to assimilate with these so-called white people. They want to send them to school with the white kids, so on and so forth. If I send my kid to school with the white kids, maybe my kid will be seen as a white kid and treated like a white kid. If they talk like white kids, people will think that they white kids, and they'll treat them as such, and they won't be under these curses. No, motherfucker, you under these curses, man. And it's the damn devil, man. The devil hates you, and his purpose in his heart is killing your ass. It says part of it could have been she rode to school with a white family, Adams said, and a lot of it was race. Nah, all of it was race. All right. Some of the students bullied. Now, who are some of these students? These are all white kids talking about they picking out the sore thumb because the elephant in the room is the one black bitch that's in the school amongst all these white kids. I can more than guarantee that the parents that bring these kids to these upper echelons white schools that these kids ain't used to seeing no goddamn black kids. All right. Because in regular fucking public schools, there's majority J kids in there, and then you got the 1 or 2 white kids, and they the ones that's feeling like oh shit, I can't say shit because I'm in school with all these black motherfuckers. Let me just eat my little carrot sticks and just shut the fuck up before they already picking on me anyway. All right, in most public schools, that's how it is anyway. Or if not that, you got the white kids that's assimilating with the black kids because they just already realize they outnumbered and they growing up in the hood anyway. But when you have it in reverse, where the black kid is going to a predominantly white school, this is what's going on. They're getting the raw reality of the world. All right, this is what's going to happen when you go into your regular black job and regular life as a so-called black person. When you have to buy a house, deal with the law, government, and all these different systems, you're going to be treated just like this. All right. It says part of it could have been because she rode to school with a white family. Why couldn't she ride the fucking school bus? Oh, she wasn't in her district. Oh, why wasn't she in her district? Because she was being bullied from another school. Why was she in another school? Why was she in a school where she fit in with everybody else? All right. They over here talking about her because she being black. Now, if she was in school full of black people, who going to say something about it? Nobody. It says part of it could have been because she rode to school with a white family, Adams said, and a lot of it was race. Some of the students bullies would say to her, "Why are you riding with these white people? You're black. You're ugly. You should just die." All right. It says she's been bullied the entire school year with words such as "kill yourself." You think you're white because you ride with that white boy. You're ugly, black bitch. Just die. All right. So again, like I said, homegirl, they telling her the truth. It says she's being bullied. Actually, they was telling her the truth. They say you should just kill yourself. Like the scriptures say, hey man, though hand join in hand, you want to ultimately, their ultimate goal, they know that they made it if they could be accepted by these white folks. They can just grow up with these white kids. She can marry a white boy and live a so-called white society. But if that's succeeding in accomplishing to her at the end all be all, she's going to be destroyed by the Most High for joining hand in hand with their ass. So really, these Edomites is telling you the truth. It says, she's being bullied the entire school year with such words as "kill yourself." You think you're white because you robbed that white boy. All right. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. It says black bitch just die. All right. Now, let's go on with that other article about the Klansmen, and in the damn schools teaching their kids. What the hell do you think they teaching these damn kids, man? All right. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob." All right. This is being spoken to the so-called white men, the Edomites. All right. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob," all right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, "shame shall cover thee. Thou shalt be cut off forever." So the so-called white man is the only nation that's going to be cut off forever. He's going to be exterminated, annihilated off the planet Earth. He's going to be fully eradicated and genocided off the planet Earth for all this violence against the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. It says, "In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives his forces, and foreigners entered in his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, thou was even one of them. Thou should not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day he became a stranger, neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of his distress. Thou should have not entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamities. Yea, thou should not have looked upon their affliction in the day of their calamities, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamities. Neither should thou have stood in the crossways to cut off those that did escape. Neither should thou have delivered up those that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done it, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall be upon thy own head. It says, "For as thou hast drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow it down. They shall be as they had not been." And so that's the message to all these damn heathen nations, all these other nations, besides the so-called white man. Y'all gonna have to pay back for all the things that y'all did to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And as far as the so-called white man, he gonna have to pay back double. All right. So like, let's say the so-called other nation stole $5 from us. They got to pay us that $5 back. But the so-called white man stole that same $5. He got to give us that $10 back. At the end of giving that $10 back, his life got to be paid with that. All right. He's going to be fully annihilated. All right. So that's up for you so-called white people, is with your Klansmen and your so-called racism stuff, man. This racism has been there since the beginning of the time. Let me go back. Touch on that real quick. Genesis 27:41. All right, this is so-called racism ain't nothing new, man. This is what's in your heart, man. Genesis 27:41. And Esau, the so-called white man, hated Jacob, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. He was jealous because he sold his own birthright. It says, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So he want to kill his brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, was told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, does comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. So this so-called racism stemmed from way back to when actually Jacob and actual Esau was on the planet Earth. All right. Before they had the children, the Edomites and the Israelites, before all of that, the actual two brothers, Esau wanted to kill Jacob, man. And this is where this hatred come back from. This is what our people need to wake up and understand and see. Our people need to wake up and understand that this is our goddamn enemy, man. This ain't no friend and nobody we need to be trying to join hand in hand with. Ezekiel 25:12. Thus saith Yahweh power, because that Edom, the so-called white man, have dealt against the house of Judah, the so-called Negroes. All right. And so if the Most High paying the so-called white man back for the violence and the shit that he done did, what make you think you need to be befriending them and forgiving their ass? The Most High finna pay his ass back. It says, thus saith Yahweh power, because Edom, the so-called white man, has dealt against Judah, the so-called Negroes, by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them, by lynching, barbecuing, the Klansmen, all that shit, Therefore, and then also in modern days, making us kill our own goddamn self in our own minds, we just read a story about the little girl who killed herself because she didn't realize that she wasn't supposed to fit in with these goddamn heathen, but she ain't know no better because she was fully corrupted in her goddamn mind by you Edomites. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, the so-called white man, and will cut off man and beast from it, and will make it desolate from Teman, and there the Dan shall fall by the sword. All right, so the Most High say He's going to cut them all off, man and beast, from Edom. Verse 14, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do on Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh power. So the Most High said He gonna crank up on these Edomites and lay judgment on them by the hand of His own people. All right, this is where we're going to jump into these so-called race wars from. All right, this is Jeremiah 51, and I'm gonna read 19 first. I'm gonna read just a little bit of this. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them. All right, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the lot of his inheritance, and Yahweh of hosts is his name. So we the chosen people. All right, we actually somebody. All right, we not like you goddamn heathens. We don't need to be trying to be like y'all, who is a nobody, who's fitted for the people of his indignation forever. All right, we're not trying to be like y'all, man. This is Jeremiah 51:20, talking about the Israelites. All right, casting that judgment on these Edomites. It says, thou art my battle axe and my weapons of war. For with thee I will break in pieces the nations and destroy the kingdoms. Let me jump down. Verse 22. With thee I will also break in pieces man and woman, and with thee I will break in pieces the old and young, and with thee I will break in pieces the young man and the maid. All right. I will also break in pieces the shepherd and the flock, and with thee I will break in pieces the husbandman and the yoke of oxen, and with thee I will break in pieces the captain and the rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea and all their evil they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh. All right. So again, let me read this again. It says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and will roll thee down from the rocks and will make thee a burnt mountain. So the Most High is talking about destroying these so-called Edomites, these Edomites, the so-called white man, for all the violence and the things that they've done, not only to the children of Israel, but to the whole damn earth. All right. I'm going to just go through this real quick, and we're going to close out Ezekiel 35. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, son of man, set thy face against Seir and prophesy against it. Now, Mount Seir is the place where Esau Edom dwelt. All right. Esau Edom is the so-called white man. It's like saying Mount Zion, like we just read, as it's been done in Zion. Just like talking about us, the Israelites. So the same thing here. This mountain here is representing Esau. Verse 3, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. I will stretch out my hand against thee. I will make thee most desolate. So that's a cut for all. We all God's people. We all together, blah, 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 blah. The Most High is against the so-called white man. I don't know what you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans think. And he says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Because thou hast had, and this is the reason why. Because you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the so-called white man is about to get put to death, utterly destroyed. All right, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because the so-called white man was lynching your ass, barbecuing your ass, killing your ass, and tormenting and torturing your ass. The Most High got something for his ass. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right, just like they was out there with the clans and hanging us in these trees and stuff like that, it's gonna be the same way for them. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut it off from him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with slain men, and in thy hills and in the valleys and in thy rivers they shall all fall that are slain by the sword. I will make their perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas Yahweh was there. Talking about the northern and the southern kingdom. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, just like in Isaiah, they're talking about he gonna sit in the sides of the north on the congregations of the sides of the north, talking about you Israelites. All right, taking us in captivity and ruling over us like that. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of the hatred against them, and when I will make myself known when I have judged thee. So you bullying this little girl, telling me why you riding with him, you should just die, man. All this terror is coming to you so-called white people real soon. Real soon. All this was what's happening. This is what's going on. Every time you shoot down Jake and you put us on TV like that, just know your greatest fear, when them big ass black men is getting madder and madder, and when these Latinos are getting madder and madder, and they just finna run through your people, man. It says, thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying they are laid desolate, they are given to us to consume. And to those ones that was out there just talking about why you riding with him, you little black bitch, you ugly black bitch, so on and so forth. Most High took all that down, and when she came up there to him, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, just believe that y'all gonna have to pay for that, you know? And what's crazy is you still gonna be alive and live. Those kids, they're not gonna grow up to be adults in this lifetime, man. Before these damn kids reach adulthood, the Lord's gonna be being returned back and brought down this judgment on these damn Edomites, all right? Thus with your mouth have you boasted against me, and multiplied your words against me, and I have heard them. Thus saith Yahweh power, when the whole earth rejoice, I will make thee desolate, as thou did rejoice at the inheritance of Israel, because it was desolate. So will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all of Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So all the so-called white men, every last one of them going to be cut off. They're going to all be cut off in the slaughter. Well, actually, let me back up. Some of them are actually going to be saved through this first destruction. They're going to be saved for the first fruits of slavery. But after that 1,000 years, every last one of these Edomites is going to be fully annihilated. All right. Let me grab one more quick precept and close out, since we was dealing with the children. It says, this is Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundations thereof. You know, and we could just go into this article we was just talking about, like the kids in the play with the Klansmen, bringing that old spirit back up, or the other kids that was in school talking that shit to the little girl, you know, telling some, you know, why you riding with him? You know, they bullying and tagging on, you know. It says, O Yahweh, remember the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even into the foundations thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. All right, that's your end. You're going to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rendereth thee, that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us, which we just read. As y'all done is going to be rewarded unto you double. All right. It says, happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. All right. So going back to the Trail of Tears, you used to cut our women's stomach open with the C-sections, and you still mock and do it today, primarily only to our women, not the Edomite women's. Only the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American women predominantly get C-sections. All right. You used to cut our babies out of our stomachs and smash them up against the trees and on the stones and kill them. All right. As you was walking them on the Trail of Tears. All right. In modern day today, man, you got our little kids bullying them in school and having them commit suicide over some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, in the soon and coming days, man, when we snatching your goddamn babies up out of your arms and just slinging them across the damn fields and shit like that, nobody gonna have no remorse. And this is why it's written, because of that, because you still doing it up until the same damn day. Up until the day that Yahweh shall take that crown off your head, you're gonna be doing it. All right? From the time that Isaac was on his deathbed, you hated us and you was purposing to kill us, all the way up until the same day, man. It's never changed your heart, man. So as a quick little message signing out to our people, man, come up out of her, man. Leave these so-called white people alone, man. There is nothing but death and destruction surrounding them, man. All right. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak Radash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Stay strong. Shalom.